I would argue that yes, we are becoming bots in many ways. How often do you receive an email and you say, did a bot or a human send this? That's a problem. We spend a considerable amount of time humanizing our bots, but little attention on whether we're becoming botified as people. It's happening because we're surrounded by so many people online. We have an incentive to cultivate more relationships than is humanly possible. There's something called the Dunbar number, which states that the average person can handle about 150 relationships just in person, just on the idea that it takes time and emotional energy to cultivate relationships. What's happening, unfortunately, is that we're trying to automate our intimacy in this effort to scale relationships online. Yeah, my favorite example of botified communication happened recently from a direct message on Twitter. I received this message and at the end it said, "Have a great day," but the person spelled day wrong. They spelled it D-A-U. Instantly I received another direct message from this person saying, "Oops, sorry about the typo." Being my skeptical person that I am, I thought, how twisted, right? Is this a person that is actually trying to intentionally put an error? To find out whether this was the case, I followed this person on a different account and sure enough, received the typo and the apology. This wasn't a human, right? They may seem like a human, but in fact, it's a human who's acting as a bot, projecting as a human. Yeah, another example that happens with botified communication is right on LinkedIn. Oftentimes you might receive an automated message, right, where it says, "Congrats on your new job." This isn't something that was thought out by the person, but something that is just clicking a button. But oftentimes you might find that when you follow up on this message, you get no response, right? It seems like to a large extent we've gamified how we cultivate relationships. The problem is a lot of people focus so much on the game and so little on cultivating relationships. It matters because relationships are built on reciprocity, right? If I receive an email where I think you spend a considerable amount of time and emotional energy, I will also put in a considerable amount of time and emotional energy. Again, this is just human nature to be reciprocal. But the problem is when one party is not investing that time and energy, but pretending they are, there's a certain amount of manipulation. It's bad to be a bot because you're missing the sweet spot of communication. I would argue that the sweet spot of communication is a combination of the quality and quantity of our relationships. When we're becoming bot-like in our communication by automating our intimacy, we're focusing so much on the quantity of our relationships, but so little on the actual quality. Bot-like communication is incredibly important. The great irony of the digital age is that it's actually caused a renewed focus on a large question, what it means to be human. With botified communication, what we're doing is we're diluting our own humanness, right? That's the beauty in our communication. That's something that bots can't do. Instead of competing against bot-like behavior, what we need to do is say that bots work well at a baseline, more transactional type of communication, but as a human, we're great at the emotional one-on-one connection. That's what we need to do. We need to embrace what it means to be human.